Have you ever noticed that the harder you chase something, the further it seems to run? The more you try to prove yourself to someone, the more they ignore you. The harder you cling, the faster they slip away. The more desperate your energy becomes, the more invisible you feel. It's as if the very act of chasing repels what you want most. So ask yourself, why? Because life doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to alignment. And sometimes the most courageous, most powerful thing you can do is stop chasing altogether. This isn't about giving up. It's about letting go. It's about becoming still enough to let what's meant for you recognize you. We live in a world that worships the hustle. Move faster, try harder, get more. If you're not chasing something, are you even doing anything at all? But here's the secret they don't tell you. You can chase your entire life and still never feel whole, because you're not chasing a thing. You're chasing a feeling of being worthy, a feeling of being seen. And that feeling doesn't come from what you get. It comes from who you are when you stop running. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." So here's the deeper question. What are you chasing? And what wound is chasing you? Because chasing often isn't about the goal. It's about the wound behind the goal. That relationship you can't let go of. It's not about them. It's about needing to be chosen. That job you feel you have to prove yourself in. It's not about success. It's about needing to feel enough. That constant fear of being left behind. It's not about falling short. It's about believing you're not worthy of rest. When we don't heal, we chase. When we don't know who we are, we pursue reflections instead of the truth. But when you stop chasing, you start seeing. And what you'll see is this. You were never supposed to beg for what's aligned. You were meant to attract it, to stand still and let it arrive, not through force, but through resonance. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. And who you are when you're not chasing, when you're not grasping, performing, proving, is your most magnetic self. Still, centered, whole. So let's get honest. What happens when you stop? When you stop trying to be liked? When you stop running after opportunities? When you stop chasing people who don't value you? When you stop explaining yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you? Something strange happens. You begin to notice who still calls. You begin to notice what begins to flow. You begin to notice the calm within the quiet. And from that calm, life begins to shift. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop performing. You start embodying. And most people never reach this place because they're addicted to motion. They confuse momentum with meaning. They confuse chasing with achievement. But not all motion is progress. And not all stillness is stagnation. In fact, stillness is the beginning of transformation. Carl Jung spoke about the shadow self, the parts of us we suppress, ignore, or deny. And so often, the reason we chase is because of the shadow, the fear of abandonment, the belief that we have to earn love, the voice that says, if I stop running, they'll leave. I'll fail, I'll disappear. But that voice is not your truth. It's your trauma. Because love, real love, doesn't make you run. It doesn't hide behind conditions. It doesn't punish your silence. What's meant for you will not require you to betray yourself to keep it. It will meet you in your peace. It will recognize you in your stillness. It will stay when you finally stop chasing. So let's reframe this. What are you actually losing when you stop chasing? The anxiety, the sleepless nights, the performative life that keeps you exhausted. You're not losing anything real. You're shedding the version of you that believed chasing was the only way to survive. And that version of you, that was just survival. Now, you get to choose something better. Sovereignty. So how do you stop? You come back home to yourself. You become more interested in your own peace than someone else's approval. You become more committed to your path than their opinions. You become more loyal to your healing than to your need for validation. You don't attract by hustling harder. You attract by becoming clearer. Clarity creates power, and power creates gravity. The moment you decide, I'm no longer chasing anyone or anything that costs me my peace, everything shifts. Because when you rise into your true energy, the wrong people feel discomfort. But the right ones, they feel drawn. That's how you know you're aligning. Carl Jung also said, who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. When you stop chasing the world, you wake up to yourself. And in that awakening, you realize you don't have to run anymore. You don't have to chase what's running from you. You just have to stop betraying yourself. And the rest will meet you in the space that opens up. This is what energetic maturity looks like. It's not about arrogance. It's about authenticity. It's not about rejecting others. It's about refusing to abandon yourself. Because what you seek is also seeking you. But it can only find you when you stop pretending, when you stop performing, when you stop molding yourself into what you think they want. You weren't born to chase approval. You were born to radiate truth. Let them misunderstand you. Let them question your distance. Let them sit in the silence you once filled with effort. You are not here to be decoded by people unwilling to grow. You are here to become undeniably you. So I ask you, what would your life look like if you stopped chasing things that were never aligned to begin with? What would you create with all that energy you've spent explaining yourself? What would you manifest if you finally believed you were enough? Because here's the truth. When you stop chasing, you become so still, so rooted, so powerful that the right things start arriving. Naturally, effortlessly, unmistakably. No more begging, no more proving, no more performing, just alignment. And alignment is the most attractive energy on earth. It tells the universe, I'm ready. It tells your soul, I'm safe. It tells your future, come find me now. So choose peace over pressure. Choose boundaries over burnout. Choose your wholeness over the illusion of being chosen. And when you do, you'll see that everything you were chasing, it was always on its way. It just needed you to stop running. Now let me ask you this. Are you finally ready to stop chasing? To trust that what's meant for you will find you when you're not performing to earn it? If you are, then comment below. I no longer chase, I attract. Let's see how many here are ready to reclaim their energy, their peace, their power. And don't stop now. This is just the beginning. The next video goes even deeper into a topic that will give you a massive psychological advantage over others around you. Subscribe. Turn the notification on. It might just change the way you see everything.